All right, guys, I'm gonna go through an excavator for greaser locations. This is a 210. So let's see, the cat we have, the greaser locations are different, and the 85, which is Hitachi, those greasers are very different on that machine. But the other ones, like the John Deere 160, this 210, the 350, and the new 300, all those greasers are going to be in very, very similar locations because Hitachi, they just have them all in very similar locations. And like the Mini's here too. The Mini will have all them in similar locations. The Zerk on the Kubotas are like the skid steer. They're on the end of the pins for most of them. So I'll go through and show you where this is. I'm going to start it up real quick because we're going to have to move the boom to get to some of them. Okay, so what I do is I'll put the greaser in the case here on the track right by the cab, so you can't forget it. And that's at a nice height, and it's just easy to work from there. And so we'll start. You can start wherever you want, but I'm going to start here on the front end. So right here is a swivel housing greaser. All right, these machines have two of them. There's one on the back side also. So if you have your machine set up like this, it's easiest to grease kind of with the tracks lined up with the housing, because of where those greasers are. So I'll show you. When I do that one, I generally come back and do the other one, or I'll forget it. So if you crawl under here, you can see it right there. All right, those don't need a lot of grease. Just give them the normal amount of pumps that you would, you know, maybe 6 to 8 pumps every time you grease, every 8 to 12 hours. All right, so then here again, we got one here on the bottom of each cylinder. Those are easy to get to here. And then you're going to climb up, and each of these machines have, hopefully you can see this, have this bar of greasers. So you've got 2 on the bottom. Those go to this pin, the big main boom pin, all right, on each side. Then you have 3 more. Those 3 go 2 to the top of these cylinders, way up there. And then the one goes all the way to the top of that arm cylinder. So you grease those all from that whole grease block area, and then that's done. Then you're going to come out here. This is actually a simple way to do the thumb. So you're going to have a Zerk on the thumb right there. And then I can climb up and show you this one. There's one right up on top there of the thumb. The other thumb ones are on the joint. I'll show you what I do with these. It's a little hard to grease that like that. So let's move that thumb. So generally, I'll put the bucket in a position kind of like this. Bring this way in here, where I can get a lot of them at once. So if you do something like this, now you can easily get to your greasers on your thumb. There's one there, and then there'll be one on the other side. This one I showed you. This one's up top here. Okay, the main pin. This is the most important one on the excavators. Right in here is the greaser for the main pin, and then these are right up here for this pin. So you're going to do those really well. The main pin I do really well, like on the skid steer. Don't be afraid to put grease in there. And then when you have it like this, you can do these. So that's on that joint. You can see it right there. And then you're going to have one up here. So you can see that one. And then you're going to have one on this cylinder. So from far away, you can get that cylinder, you can get those on both sides, and that cylinder, and get your whole thumb and most of your pins there. What you're lacking is this pin, and this pin, and there's a couple in the quick coupler. But that's how I set it up. I put it like that. I do all of that. And then you don't necessarily have to get in. You can just reach through. This is set up for the other controls. Let's see if we can see them all. You can kind of put the arm like that, and then you can get the rest of these. So these guys are going to be right down in here. There's one there and there, so that gets both of those. This has its own, which you can see, yeah, right there. It's got a guard around it. And then down here, these are going to be up in here. So these are all pretty buried with dirt, but that's where they all are. The quick coupler, you don't have to do the grease zerks all the time. That's a good thing to do when maybe you take the bucket off one time, because it doesn't get used hardly at all. Take the bucket off sometime, you just remember there's a couple zerks there. You'll see the joints. So that's how you grease the excavator. And yeah, that's it.